From time immemorial, celebrity fandom has been a phenomenon of enduring fascination. One crazy fan broke into Megan Good's hotel room and left a flower on the bed. Ironically, a BTS fan did the exact same thing to Jimin, but instead of planting roses in the room, he licked the toilet bowl like it was some sacred ritual. And if you think that's weird, wait till you watch this. In case you're wondering, that's a clip from 1996 showing an overexcited South Korean fan clinging to Michael Jackson while his crane was in motion. Now that's a different level of crazy, but one delusional TikToker is making it look like child's play with her insane and disturbing obsession with Stranger Things character Eddie Munson. And she's none other than Sarah Rawrr.
Hi, I'm Sarah, I'm 28 years old, and I think I came up with the perfect jingle for Mountain Dew.
Sarah is what you would describe as an Eddie Munson superfan. Her entire room, including the ceiling, is covered with pictures of the fictional character, and she seems to have a meltdown every time the actor who played the role finds love in real life. Of course, that's not normal human behavior, as you discover in this video. Normality isn't exactly Sarah's thing. She dramatically exaggerates everything to deceive her audience. Her online persona, her stories, everything. Sarah suffers from an artificial self-inflicted disease called chronic lying disorder. She has this special gift of cooking, packaging, and presenting false narratives as though they're true. And here's the thing, she's not just feeding those lies to others. She believes them so much that she'd defend them against even cold, hard facts presented by professionals.
I'm not being sarcastic, I'm being happy. Can I not be happy for the holidays? Is that a crime? Can I not be happy? Is that a crime? Though I solemnly swear I will never say the word again. Okay, cool, we're good, okay.
From defending racial slurs to stopping imaginary school shootouts and faking seizures live on camera, this is the story of Sarah Rawrr. Picking out Sarah's lies is a pretty difficult task, not because her stories are watertight and believable, but because her web of lies is so long, it's hard to know where to start. However, for the purpose of this video, I'll start with the one that pissed her audience off the most. As you'd imagine, many people were concerned that she could be struggling with a serious health issue. In fact, while the situation was unfolding, 2 people on the live asked if she was okay, and a few seconds later, Sarah responded.
Not again. Not again. I have to go to the doctor's tomorrow. I think I had another seizure.
At first glance, her story was touching. It was literally the perfect Hollywood script. I mean, think about it. The hero is a struggling upcoming streamer. Her goal is to become the next superstar on TikTok. And somewhere along the line, she's faced with an obstacle. In this case, a seizure. If she's ever able to overcome it and become the next big thing on TikTok, it could be the greatest comeback story ever. And even if she fails, she'll still be hailed as a heroine, someone who against all odds fought for success and only missed out due to a health challenge beyond her control. That's probably how Sarah hoped this situation would pan out. But what played out next was completely different. From the very second that the incident happened, her viewers noticed some weird things. Most especially how quickly she recovered from the seizure, almost like it never happened. According to an article on healthline.com, the immediate postictal phase of seizures, that is the recovery period after someone experiences a seizure, is typically between 5 and 30 minutes. The same publication also confirms that patients could suffer symptoms like confusion or fatigue during this phase, and that's consistent with the experiences of other people. Narrating their own ordeal, this user said, "I've had seizures since I was 13, almost 25 now, and each time I'm crying, confused, and can't even make full sentences for at least 10 to 15 minutes because my head hurts so bad and I'm so out of it." Similarly, another user detailed her mother's experience saying, "My mom had seizures, and she literally couldn't remember what year it was or who I was for a solid 30 minutes afterwards." Interestingly, Sarah didn't suffer any of these symptoms. Instead, she casually snapped out from the aggressive shaking to answer her mom, who was calling in the background. And a few moments later, she concluded that she just had a seizure and even remembered that she had seen the doctor about it.
have to go to the doctors tomorrow. I think I had another seizure. Ugh, my bones. My bones. I didn't mean to scare you. I've been having to go to the doctors. I'm fine, I'm sitting. I'm fine.
At this point, her audience became even more irritated. Some people were literally questioning her age, and others couldn't even believe the video was real. Anyone who genuinely respects their audience could have backtracked here, but instead Sarah doubled down. She claimed that her ex, who has epilepsy, saw the video and confirmed that something was wrong with her. She also said that this same ex advised her to get medical help. Sarah would later claim that she sought help from 3 doctors, but none of them could figure out what was wrong with her brain. But she never provided evidence to support the statement. And that right there is the problem. You see, when people lie and joke about serious health issues, they forget that their actions could have far-reaching impacts beyond their personal lives. In this case, Sarah showed an unimaginable level of insensitivity because around 50 million people suffer from epilepsy across the world, and some of them might watch that video. It's hard to imagine how they'll feel, but we can at least measure the weight of their hurt through some of the comments that trailed the video. As someone who had frequent seizures as a child, I find this highly offensive. I know with mine I wouldn't remember what happened or even know where I was after coming out of mine. It takes every bit of energy out of you. To understand how Sarah became so insensitive to such a delicate issue, we have to examine 2 things. The first is how she comes up with ideas.
I'm just out of ideas.
You know what I do when I'm out of ideas? And then I get like a million ideas at once.
The other is the type of people around her, because like they say, a bad friend is worse than an actual enemy. Well, the thing is, not many admit they're friends with Sarah online, but there are a few exceptions. According to this video by Kiwi Tapes, the one person who publicly admitted to being friends with her did so just to accuse the TikToker of doing something morally wrong. Apart from this mystery friend, which we'll talk about later, Sarah is also close to her mom. And if you're like me, you're probably wondering why she hasn't called Sarah to order. I mean, mothers are supposed to be the default moral police for their children. But it turns out that not only is Mama Sarah aware of the lies, she's also a major shareholder in their daughter's empire of lies and deceit. How do I know this? Well, digging through the archives of Sarah's past, I found one shocking incident where her mom bent over backwards to cover her tracks. Some time ago, Sarah did the one thing she knows how to do best. She lied to her audience that she was hit by a bus at age 15. But it didn't end there. She added a tragic medical story for more effects, saying she was in a coma for a while and the incident stopped her brain from developing. Well, nobody believed her because ultimately there was no evidence whatsoever to back it up. If anything, those claims only earned her more criticism, just like most of the things she has said in the past. But Sarah kept pushing her narrative. In subsequent videos, she argued that her critics didn't have her medical history, and so they're not allowed to question her claims. She also insisted that she had brain surgery, again with no evidence. But somewhere along the line, she slipped and admitted that she probably didn't do a good job with the storytelling.
They're straight, you don't know my medical history, you are not my doctors, you are not my therapist, you are not a person, a medical professional, and if you are, you're not that specific about what you know about me because you don't have my records. And it's not fair that I keep getting unalive threats on a daily basis from someone taking a live stream when I had to have surgery into my brain and taking it out of context. Maybe I wasn't the best at explaining it, but I am not good at explaining a lot of things, and that is my curse.
Despite her fake tears, you could sense that the story was just about falling apart. But Mama Sarah literally made the whole thing crumble. She confirmed that her daughter only had a close encounter with a car, but there was barely any contact, and she had never been in a coma before. However, in an embarrassing turn of events, Mama Sarah walked back on her words. She tweaked the story, carefully doctoring her words until they aligned with Sarah's version of the story. That is just pathetic, but it's probably not as bad as some of the other things Sarah has done. During one of her live streams, she said a racial slur out loud.
That was awesome. Does Mama say it?
The word?
Yeah.
Yeah, she says it in Spanish all the time when describing all her cousins, you know, because nobody
Oh,
believes
she says
her.
the N-word?
He says the N-word in Spanish?
What's the N-word in Spanish? I don't know.
When people confronted Sarah about it, she immediately went into defense mode. First, she claimed she only said it because it's part of a song she likes to sing.
Like other rappers like Ice Cube, I do like them, don't get me wrong, but I've only sang them in a confined space within people I can trust. And do I say it out of malicious? No, I sing it because it's part of the song and it's...
Then she pretended like she said it to herself.
I can't offend myself when I feel crappy. I can't say certain words about myself because the rest of the world thinks it's insensitive. When I say I can't call myself certain words anymore because it's offensive to other people, it just baffles me. I can't call myself the R word. I can't call myself dumb. I can't call myself stupid. I can't call myself anything to myself.
When that didn't seem to work, she made a half-hearted attempt to own up to her mistake and promised never to do it again.
Yeah, I won't use it again. Fine. I will never use it again. I will never use it again. I solemnly swear that I will never use the word again, okay?
But just when people started to believe her, she snapped out of the fake remorse and showed her true colors.
I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being happy. Can I not be happy for the holidays? Is that a crime? Can I not be happy? Is that a crime?
Yes, that's Sarah in her full raw element, a TikTok baddie who would do anything else but apologize. Despite knowing that she clearly erred, she refused to apologize. And when the criticism hit another gear, she attempted to distract the audience by launching the fourth phase of her defense strategy.
Up for your drama club. Never sign up for your drama, up for your drama club. Never sign up for your drama club. I won't let you see the damn more song down here.
Honestly, that's the worst distraction attempt you'd ever see. I mean, if that dance was the only thing on TikTok, I promise you, nobody would be addicted to the platform. But you gotta give it to her. At least she gave it her best shot. She went over and beyond to buy a mask because she didn't want people to screen record her face while she made derogatory comments. You know, it's absolutely forbidden to apologize for saying something wrong. So she throws on a Squid Game mask as if that'll magically make the situation better.
That's just creepy. Well, it's either the mask or we put the green screen filter on, but it is not working right now. So we have to have the mask on. I know my face has been out there with lives before, but I have turned a new chapter in. If I'm going live, we will not be showing my face, so that way my face isn't on people's screen recording lives, in a sense.
When the same issue was raised on another live stream, she did a charismatic dance to distract the audience. Although often overlooked, small vices like denial in the face of truth and blame shifting could be symptoms of a much deeper problem brewing behind the scenes. In this instance, they are a clear indication that Sarah is living a dysfunctional life, one that's plagued with a lot more issues than you can count on with both hands. So besides her racial slur saga and the infamous seizure skit, Sarah is also known for stealing people's creative work and claiming it as her own. Here's a song she claimed she wrote in the bathtub.
My father says I have Irish eyes, Irish eyes, Irish eyes. My father says I have Irish eyes. They go ever so green on a bright spring sky, but they're never so green as when I let them cry. My mother says I have Puerto Rican hair, Puerto Rican hair. Brown like the bark of a palm somewhere, like the bed of the rocks where the sea meets, like a thorn in the stem of a Spanish flower. I'm a map of the world and the ones before, 1 foot in the sea and 1 on the shore, every step, every hope flung high. I'm a map of them all with my Irish eyes.
A quick Google search shows that the song actually belongs to a female British artist called Rose Betts. And as you can see here, the lyrics are exactly the same as what Sarah sang in that video. The only difference is that she swapped the word mother with father. Another time she read a poem that was supposedly written by her, and she was literally stumbling on her words.
I remember everything that you forgot. That one I wrote a couple years ago. I just want to change to love you like you deserve to be. I promise there hasn't been a day that I stopped wanting you. I wrote it very close together back in the day, wanting you. And you haven't gotten out of my head at all since I first met you.
Could it be that Sarah grabbed that from Google too? Well, I'm not alleging anything, but one of the quotes in her video looks eerily similar to this quote I found on Pinterest. That alone suggests that everything she read in that video might be someone else's work. And as a matter of fact, it raises serious concern about the validity of everything she has said in the past, including her supposed love for Eddie Munson. Normally, Eddie is a very likable character, so it's not unusual that anyone would like him. But Sarah's obsession is on a whole different level. Basically, 80% of all her TikTok content is about the character. In fact, she once did an extensive series with over 40 videos detailing what she and Eddie would do if they were dating. If that wasn't cringeworthy enough, she made this post announcing the specific sequence of time since Eddie Munson passed away in season 4 of Stranger Things. Outside social media, Sarah has also extended that obsession to Joseph Quinn, the actor who played Eddie Munson. She paid $100 to meet him at a convention in Dallas, Texas. According to Sarah, the actor had a good aura during the event, but was irritated by some of his fans, whom she described as crazy.
Okay. Once again, as I repeat this, when I met Joseph Quinn last year in person, his aura was kind. Yes, sometimes he felt annoyed by some of the real crazy fans, which I waited patiently.
But somehow in the midst of all that chaos, Sarah said she was well behaved and ultimately got rewarded for it.
But when he saw me get my inhaler out, and as my autographs, both a Funko Pop and a picture, was getting signed, he let me stay by one of his, security guards of the convention. You want to call it mood, empath. But with me, I was respectful, I was quiet, I was patient. He appreciates that. I gave him a nice gift. Something simple. Something not, related too much to Stranger Things. I got him a little bit.
At this point, Sarah had generated a lot of buzz, and everyone was wondering how the story would end. Did she summon enough courage to express her feelings for him? Or what if it was the other way around? Well, I'm not trying to be a killjoy, but none of that happened.
And then he waved me goodbye and said, please be safe. He did say that. I don't talk about it that much because everyone refuses to believe I had a genuine encounter with this man.
That sounds like a casual interaction that could have happened between any celebrity and a fan. But Sarah, being who she is, manufactured a completely different narrative. First, she described herself as an empath, and then she passionately talked up the meeting, highlighting how she gifted Joseph Quinn a jewel box and his appreciation for the way she behaved. That wasn't a coincidence. It was a carefully orchestrated plan by Sarah to mislead her audience. Think about it for a second. On one hand, she says Joseph Quinn was annoyed at other fans, but somehow she wants us to believe she formed a special connection with him. And before I forget, she also said she forgot to take pictures of the gift.
Too much to Stranger Things. I got him a little bit of what he did in different roles. A little bit of everything. And I made him a jewelry box. I don't have a picture of it because I forgot to take a picture of it before I went to the convention.
Sarah probably knew that people would demand evidence of the gift, so she added that excuse into her story just to escape accountability, but this time her audience was not having it. Describing the moment they became fed up with the story, one user wrote, "I lost it after the inhaler and Funko Pop were mentioned back to back, LMAO. Another user simply commented, "Empath ability," mocking Sarah's claims of being an empath. But even harsh comments weren't enough to get Sarah to back down. Instead, they fueled her resolve to obsess over Joseph Quinn even more. When the actor was rumored to be dating Doja Cat, she initially tried to dismiss it.
Okay, girl, Joe is not dating Doja. I have not seen a picture of them on his Insta and anything. I heard they're engaged. I'll see it when I believe it. I'll see it when I believe it.
I think what she was trying to say there was, I will believe it when I see it. But her hatred for Doja was too much. She couldn't even express her thoughts properly. And that right there gives you an insight into the mind of toxic people. No matter how they try to hide it, their extreme obsession sometimes gets the better of them, suffocating their ability to think or make fair judgment. Anyway, it took a while, but Sarah eventually realized that the stories about Joseph Quinn and Doja Cat were true. And since denial wasn't working, she resorted to personal attacks.
Doja Cat's body is tea, you can't lie. I don't know, girl. I know my body is real. I don't know about Doja. No diss on Doja. I don't know where real and plastic begin. I just don't know where real and plastic begin.
Obviously, that didn't work either, so she turned her rage on Joseph Quinn. She delivered a whole lecture talking about how she wouldn't want his heart to be broken.
You know, we're grown men, we can do whatever we want. I just don't like seeing people in any situation, whether they're like me, in a relationship, or celebrity, getting their heart broken when you look up to them very wellly. That's all that matters to me, and I'm not trying to fight with anybody, and I'm trying to stay composed at the moment. But again, it's not fair that I...
Of course, everyone knows that's just pure hate and jealousy disguised as concern. But Sarah wasn't done yet. For her next stunt, she wore the hat of a counselor and outrightly concluded that the relationship was bad for Joseph.
Which, I'm not saying I can see aura, but I can feel when a good relation happens and a bad relation happens. Even though I may be my own self when I was dating certain people in my own personal life, blinded by love. But in the end, I got hurt quite a bit by guys. And my empath abilities should have felt that more often than be stupid by love. So when I tell you that I may not know them, but I can feel it's not a good relationship. And that's not just because I like Joseph Quinn quite a bit and I went to go meet him.
A few minutes after dropping that unsolicited advice, she became emotional and almost cried as she pleaded with Joseph Quinn not to mess with her feelings.
At the same convention. But don't mess with my feelings. Don't mess with my emotions. Because it hurts. Your aura is green. Thank you, Jace.
Next up, Sarah did something out of the blue, even by her own standards. She alleged that Joseph Quinn rejected Doja and that the pop star had daddy issues.
Because are you going to get rid of your picture of him? To be for real, I might. To be for real, I don't care if I spent $110 for these photos. I might have to get rid of them. Because I cannot, like, Joseph Quinn could date any other person, and I would be okay with it, but not Doja Cat. She started this, like, when I still had an account on Twitter, which I don't anymore, and, like, stalking him, basically, on, like, different platforms, and kept asking her agent to literally, like, hook up a meeting with them. And, of course, even, I have to find them. I think I have them saved on my phone, screenshots or videos of, like, Joseph on Saturday Night Live, or other interviews, like, saying, how do you feel about the Doja Cat, like wanting to have you? And he's like, he's, like, the uncomfortable, he's, like, scratching the back of his head, like, he has to say it. I'm kind of flattered, I guess, but, I had to respectfully turn her down. Doja Cat's a problematic person. She's got daddy issues, severely. She just does. That's the one thing. If you got severe daddy issues, no, just no. Anybody else, I don't go, not her. Anybody else, anybody. He can date anybody, but not Doja Cat.
Now, this wasn't just jealousy anymore. It was a full-blown hate campaign by Sarah. And the backlash from her followers was in full measure. One person even took it upon themselves to ask why she was so obsessed with Joseph Quinn. Her answer was just as expected, dumb, casual, and devoid of depth or nuance. But it revealed something interesting about her life that we haven't discussed yet.
Because we can have our obsessions! Like my boyfriend likes TT, Taylor Swift, so,
Wait, did she just say boyfriend? Well, yes, she did. Actually, away from all her TikTok drama and obsession with Joseph, Sarah is involved in a long-distance relationship with a man named Michael. And on the surface, it seemed like their love was quite strong, at least from Michael's point of view.
She was like a shot of espresso. She's like being bathed in sunlight. She's incredibly energetic and enthusiastic, and she had this sense of play and fun, which was incredibly exciting.
I know it's hard to tell a person's true character from the way they carry themselves on social media, but judging by his online persona, Michael comes across as a very calm person. On TikTok, he describes himself as just a guy who loves to dance and listen to music, and all of his 8 videos on the platform show him doing just that. This aura of composure and kindness he exudes is evident in the way he treats Sarah, the way he holds her, the occasional glances, and the innocence that flows through his eyes. It tells a story of a man who's genuinely in love. And perhaps the same can be said of Sarah. She's been open about her relationship with Michael from the onset, even showing him off on TikTok a few times. In one of her older clips from 2022, she hailed him to the heavens, saying he's different from every other person she has dated in the past. She also gushed about how the relationship is peaceful, and how Michael's family welcomed her with open arms.
when I started dating my partner, we would never get into a fight or have a conflict. And that shocked me to my core. Because I didn't have a normal family life. My parents worked in the city most of my childhood, and I was raised by other people who weren't even my biological family. And when I asked him out, I thought he was going to be like every other person in my relationship world. We date for maybe 6 months to a year, and then they leave me because they can't handle me. But not him. He just changed my world. His family openly accepted me for who I was and what I had, or what it was my orientation. His nieces and nephews, his sisters, welcomed me in with open arms. You could say I'm hooked, line, and sink for this person. He tells me never to change who I am. I love you for all you are, and that's why I love him.
It was the first time I had seen Sarah really happy about something positive. But the more I watched that video, the more I struggled to understand why Sarah sims for other men as if her life depended on it. You know, it's one thing to be overly obsessed with a celebrity as a single person, but it's a completely different thing to do it while you're in a serious relationship. And the fact that Sarah has chosen to walk that path suggests she doesn't respect what she and her boyfriend share. Because if she does, she wouldn't shamelessly obsess over Eddie Munson at every opportunity she gets. And she definitely wouldn't dress her Michael up as the fictional character. To be honest, I feel pity for Michael, and I'd give anything to be able to ask him a few questions, especially about her obsession with Eddie Munson and the kind of impact she has on his personal life, if any. Also, I'd like to know if his family approves of Sarah's shenanigans on TikTok, or if they're even aware of it at all. I mean, at some point, they have to consider the possibility of Sarah's toxic reputation rubbing off on him, because all it takes is one bad misinterpretation and he could be canceled for no fault of his. But even if that were to happen, it would be nothing compared to the disrespect and betrayal he had suffered from Sarah already. You see, when it comes to the undignified art of being promiscuous, nothing is off limits for this TikTok diva, not even teenagers.
I didn't see your face, but I thought you were definitely a mixed kid somewhere. I'm a mixed kid. I'm kind of half like Native American and like I'm Puerto Rican, so I got the Latina blood in me.
Oh, I love Latinas. I love Latinas.
Yeah, I just got the
I
freckles.
love Latinas, bro.
I got the freckles because of my daddy.
Oh, your dad. I can be your daddy.
Oh shit! No, you did not just say that.
I can be your daddy.
Nope. No one ever say daddy.
Hang up if you don't like it. I didn't say I hated it, but I'm confused why anyone.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. She don't hate it. She loves me. Oh, God.
I can't even begin to imagine how Michael would feel after watching that video. Bro's probably somewhere trying to make the best of his life, and his supposed babe is on the wild streets of TikTok, sending flirty signals to a teenager. It's inappropriate, disrespectful, and more importantly, it ridicules whatever affection Sarah claims to have for Michael. And yet it's not even her worst act. According to that mystery friend I referenced earlier, Sarah has repeatedly cheated with other men despite being in a committed relationship. One time she spent the night at a man's house. And just so you know, the man in question wasn't Michael. It was a random guy named Tim. If that's true, then it's definitely enough grounds for Michael to break up with Sarah. I mean, she's done so much wrong, and at some point, he has to hold her accountable. But based on everything we know about her, it doesn't seem like Sarah is willing to practice accountability. The word doesn't even exist in her dictionary. So far, every attempt to get her to be accountable has resulted in fake tears, unconfirmed claims, and lots of incoherent and manipulative TikTok videos.
Hey everyone. I have to make this video because I've been getting a lot of bad comments on my videos and like lots of really bad DMs telling me to hurt myself, that your boyfriend is dating you only from pity, that you're forcing your boyfriend to do this and that, and you're forcing your friends to do this and that.
Sarah practically lives in her own universe, which is governed by 5 major rules: deception, denial, manipulation, deflection, and toxicity. Her reaction to the Doja Cat and Joseph Quinn dating rumors were guided by these principles. And if you look through her life history, you'll realize it's a recurring pattern. One time she subtly dissed her dad for being bald, and when people called her out for her own hair loss, she basically denied it.
Genetically, my dad had curly hair growing up, and now he's bald. I'm not balding, thank God.
Eventually, she admitted to being bald after looking in the mirror and seeing the overwhelming evidence for herself. But again, she found a way to blame it on her mental health.
Why people saying I was bald. I don't know why people were saying I am bald. But sometimes I do have situations where if I'm really stressed, I guess my hair does intend to like thin a little bit. But if I'm taking care of my mental health the right way, my hair doesn't thin. I haven't been in a great mood, so sometimes my hair does thin a little bit. That doesn't mean I'm losing my hair, so whatever.
And if the blame game doesn't work, she would turn off her comments, or better still, switch to emotional manipulation and cheap blackmail like this.
It is not fair that I keep getting hurt by random people or people on a daily basis because I just wanted to make friends on social media. I wanted to meet people who like Stranger Things and Supernatural and everything pop culture or decade related or music and theater. It is not fair that I keep getting these comments. It is not fair.
Or this.
I'm an empath. I feel things every day. I feel things every day because I'm an empath. I wouldn't be a person with no feelings if I didn't do these raffles or talk to people or understand where they're coming from. I can't even cry anymore because I'm sorry that people spread misinformation about me. I'm a good person. I am good in my community. I go to work. I eat. I sleep. I go to work. I eat. I sleep. I'm just a person with special needs trying to exist in this world. And it's always been hard since day one for me. And I'm not trying to guilt trip anyone, I'm really not. I'm just at a point right now. I'm at a point right now where I can't tell you more than what I can say here on this community TikTok. But people, wake the fuck up. Because you're the problem, not me. You're the problem, not me.
To be clear, mental health issues are serious, and people who struggle with them deserve all the help and support they can get. But when people use it as an excuse to manipulate and attack others, as Sarah has done, then they must be stopped. Some of her followers have called for her to be sacked, and others think she should be sent to hell. TikTok has also banned her accounts in the past, which suggests that maybe the platform is tired of her antics.
In 2021, my whole account got deleted for no reason, and ever since that day, I've built myself back up to who I am right now. I have two accounts, Sarah Rawrr and Sarah Strawberry 3000. I have gone through the highs and lows of this TikTok app, of being a private account to a public account to a private account to a public account to turning off my downloads to public people and duets and stitches and stickers and all that thing that I try to understand on this platform.
But ultimately that hasn't worked, because Sarah remains active on the platform. And not only that, she's now leading a whole ecosystem of problematic TikTokers, if you know what I mean. Plus, she was recently caught supporting one of them who's smoking nicotine while pregnant.
Okay, please leave my friend Kyle and his beautiful fiance that's about to have a beautiful baby alone, because
I'm not so mentally ill. So you want to take my nicotine away? Okay, you can deal with attitude from it.
That shows Sarah's problems are getting worse by the day. I mean, who knows what else she's going to do? Maybe make insensitive content about wars, or lie that she's stopping a school shooting by dancing. Oh, she's done those already, and she's probably going to do worse in the future. So for Michael, this gentleman who has the misfortune of dating her, this might be the time to reassess the relationship. From the videos we've seen, it looks like he's deeply in love with Sarah, but she has consistently abused that privilege by openly flirting with other men for reasons best known to her. So maybe, just maybe, it's time for Michael to draw a line in the sand and seek love somewhere else, because unfortunately it doesn't seem like she's ready to change.